Alright everybody, hello and welcome. As always, I am Sean. This is In The Mixer, episode 179 of our Isle of Man series. Happy Thursday or Friday or whatever day you happen to be watching this particular episode. We continue our journey towards the end of the season. Now, we set out at the start of the year to try and win 6 trophies that we'd entered. That's going to be a continuing goal. We haven't quite hit that this year, but we are trying to keep alive a couple of chances at winning silverware in the FA Cup and in the league itself in today's episode. We've got a massive FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea away from home at Stamford Bridge. We've got a huge game in the Premier League as well, which could potentially see us help secure a pretty secure, I keep saying secure way too often, but it could secure us a bit of a points gap and hopefully an easier run home compared with our title rivals. We're not going to waste too much time. We're going to jump straight in and see how we've gone. So, as you guys can see, still sitting top of the division, 32 games played, 25 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats, plus 41 goal difference and 79 points. The one thing that has changed is that Manchester City actually lost another game in their season. So they're now only on 75 points, 4 points behind us. If we get a win in that catch-up game, which we're going to play in today's episode, there is potential that we will go 7 points clear of them again. And 7 points clear with only 5 games remaining in the season, that would be absolutely huge. Before that though, it is the English FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea. It's a competition that we have won previously. 2 seasons ago, we do want to add to that tally. We want to continue trying to do well in the Premier English Cup competition. And then no rest for the wicked, we pick ourselves back up again. 3 days after, we have Southampton at home. Southampton have been a bit up and down. They had a really good season. I think it was our first year in the Premier Division where they finished in 3rd position and made Champions League. And then since then, they've kind of been dropping off a bit. 11th place finish, 14th, back up to 13th. Last year, 11th again. Now they're currently sitting in 9th place. They didn't really make the most of the momentum that I think they had after back-to-back 6th place and 3rd place finishes. And really, I think that Champions League season kind of cost them quite a bit as they dropped back down the table. And they haven't quite, as far as their squad's concerned, gotten back to the kind of same elite level that they were at those couple of seasons that they were up challenging amongst the top 4 spots. Still got some talent about them, but we'll talk about them further before we play them. Looking across at Chelsea, we have had quite the back and forth contest with Chelsea over the last few seasons. They were, of course, our closest title rivals last year. We did beat them in the Champions League quarterfinals, the same stage that we knocked out this year. And we're on a good run of 5 straight wins against Chelsea. Prior to that, they pretty much had, the dominance across the first 10 or so games. We've just taken the lead against them 11 games, 1 of the 22 played. But really, at any point, they have the talent and they have the ability to beat us at any particular opportunity. They've got some very, very good players, some very strong players in that lineup as well. And while they are down in 8th spot this season, they're still not a bad side. Like, they will, by the time we've played our catch-up game with Southampton, they will likely also be on 33 games played. There's potential that they are sitting back up in 5th spot and trying to chase down Arsenal for that last Champions League place. So don't let that 8th place fool you. They do have games in hand. They are a very, very strong squad. As far as our squad's concerned, no massive dramas. We only get 5 on the bench for FA Cup games, which is a bit frustrating. It should be pretty much balanced with the Premier League, you would think. Jose Santana will be out suspended. It does mean we kind of try and rotate our bench a little bit to get all of our different positions covered across the park. But otherwise, we're in good stead. We've got pretty much a full-strength lineup to pick from. Chelsea do go in as favourites, but we're in the better form. We're in inconsistent form, both sides are. But they've got 2 draws and 1 defeat in their last 5. We've got 1 draw, 1 defeat. Of course, that game to Barcelona last time out. And the only change really from the starting 11, Santana's suspension means that Hisham Haji will come back in. He's been a player that's kind of been up and down. I've wanted to sell him and tried to sell him a few different times, and no one's come in to pay the amount we want, which is about 80 million, maybe even 100 million if interest increases. And he's also not ever really super happy with his role or the amount he's playing in the team. So we'll give him a chance today, see how he performs. David Lind is on the bench if we want to try and bring him on for a bit of a change. But otherwise, Mancini in goal, Decimard and Esteban as the defensive partnership, Carlos Andre at left wing back, Lucas Gabriel at right wing back, Henry anchors midfield alongside Haji as the box-to-box, Harold as the inverted winger on the left-hand side, Castro as the inverted winger on the right, Schaefer comes back into the lineup at the 10, and Rivera will lead the line up top and wear the captain's armband. Looking at Chelsea, it is an incredibly strong front 4. That is where their strength lies. They can rotate Paolucci, Fleshman, Heinen. They've got other players as well. Fur doesn't look like he's in the squad. He can play up front as well. They can rotate any of those to front 3 really across any of those positions. You see Paolucci is most comfortable as an inside forward on the right. Most of the time when we've played against him, he's led the line for them up top. 5-star current and potential ability for the 28-year-old Italian striker. Joseph Heinen was like the original wonder kid, came through Borussia Dortmund's academy, was there for quite a few seasons as well. He's been at Chelsea now for 6 years. Again, just another phenomenal player. Usually a 10 or attacking midfielder or shadow striker. They're going to play him as an advanced forward today, which he's also super comfortable with. 48 cap German international, 28 years of age. He's in his prime. They have quite a few players that are kind of sitting in their peak performance years. Norberto Indicachea was previously at Barcelona, Argentine, full international, number 10. Can play a little bit deeper if they need him to as well. He will pull the strings behind the striker and trying to get those two wide players in behind. The other one is Thomas Fleischmann, another German international, 28 years of age. He was at Stuttgart and then Schalke for a bit. Has been at Chelsea now for 4 seasons, and we've played against him quite a few times. He's scored against us quite a few times as well. Most comfortable as an advanced forward. They're going to use him as an inverted winger on the left, cutting in onto his right foot. And as far as top fours go, it's very impressive. Demiro's their captain. He'll be the quarterback at the base of midfield. Russo will be a bit more box-to-box. Campbell's a phenomenal right back, the starting England right back. Calcani's a wonderful goalkeeper for the Italian national side. They've got just quality all across the park. They're a very, very strong and very deep squad. Assertively, we're going to say Media have given a lot of credit lately. And then we might also give a bit of a boost to our midfield and attack, who haven't responded super positively to that shout, and at least everyone seems either motivated or happy, which is absolutely perfect. And while we have been on a good run and have won quite a few of the most recent games against Chelsea, as we know, anything can happen when you reload the game. Henri's got the ball here from the throw-in, switches out to Haji. Back to Abdesamad now. Can we work this to the left-hand side where we've got a bit of an overlap here? Carlos Andre with possession now. Crosses poor. Paolucci puts it back into Fryer. It sends a long ball forward towards Heinen. Now Dung, who's switched sides a little bit from his usual left full-back position. Harold's won it back though, and he can try and get to the byline, but I think he's just been cut down by Dung trying to chase him. And it's going to give Pablo Rivera, inside the opening 9 minutes, the chance to score from the spot and give us a lead. It's a lovely penalty, low and to the right-hand side of the keeper, favours his left foot, smashes it into the bottom corner. His 20th goal this season, it's been a while between dreams for Pablo Rivera, I'm not going to lie. I think it's probably 5 or 6 games since he last scored. But it's good from the penalty spot. We missed our last 2 penalties from Roberto Martinez, which is, not great. And speaking of not great, we've just had an injury picked up by Lucas Gabriel, which isn't ideal. What's it potentially going to be? Potential foot injury. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Furkan Yilmaz can come straight on as a like-for-like replacement, albeit not of the same quality, but he can fulfill the same role, which is good to see. In the other game, of course, keeping an eye on that one, Tottenham are playing Manchester City. We probably prefer Tottenham, given that Man City do consistently score against us, but we will play either side depending on who goes through. We're going to use a demand more shout with about 10 minutes remaining in the half, and just as I've clicked that, they've immediately got a highlight here. Indicachea, back to Dung, now Demiro's. He'll just sit at the base of midfield and try and quarterback balls over the top. There's men right on him. Fry looks to send one long. Henri's header clear isn't great. Paolucci recovers. Demiro's with the ball across to Rob Batch, and then Heinen with the strike. Have they brought Rob Batch off the bench? They've also had an injury, which I didn't quite notice. I wonder if that was in a similar tackle to the Gabriel one. Fleischmann's gone off, and Rob Batch, ex-English wonder kid, formerly an England international, comes on that left-hand side. Pull ball forward there from Castro as he got into a good area of the box. But Yilmaz sends it out to the left for Harold. Cuts it back to Schaefer, who gets goal side and finds the finish near post for his 26th goal of the season. Both strikers getting the goals for us today. Always good to see your strike partnership starting to find the back of the net in the same games and with regularity. Good switch out here from Yilmaz, puts Harold into a good pocket of space, and it's this lovely touch there around the defender. Squares it to Schaefer, who rolls the defender expertly and slides that left-footed into the near post for a 2-goal advantage with about 5 minutes remaining in the half. 4 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half, and we're through that time now as the referee calls the half time. 7 shots, 2 on target, 57% possession for Chelsea. We haven't really seen anything in terms of highlights from them. 4 shots, 3 on target, 43% of the ball. So while they are having chances, they're not having key chances. Assertively, we're going to say very happy with the way things are going, lads. Keep it up. And no real need to change anything as things currently stand. We'll stay on attacking. We do keep the ball pretty well in that structure. Looking at the other game, it looks like City have gone ahead in the 45th minute of their match. They had a missed penalty, which I'm assuming got tapped home. And at 58 minutes, Castro with a backstick ball. It's cleared away by the Chelsea defence. Henri looks to send it out wide left to Schaefer. He tries to bring Abdesamad back into it, but it's won back by Chelsea. Long ball forward here to Gonzalez, who takes a lovely touch around the defender and gets a strike away. Didn't have much angle to work with, but forces a good save out of Mancini for the corner. Corner now to be taken by Heinen. Left-footed, curling back towards near post, and Gonzalez has pulled one back. Gabriel Gonzalez, has he come off the bench in this game? 6th goal of the season for him. I don't think he started the match, and he might be playing up front with Heinen moving to a wide role or to the number 10 position. There was a guy, again, so Football Manager needs to sort that out, that obstruction rule. There was a guy standing right in front of Mancini who was in an offside position when the header came in. I'm not sure how that's not obstruction. And we're through 60 minutes, and there's a highlight here with Chelsea in possession. This could be difficult if they find an equalising goal. Dung across to Russo, into Kachea, now Paolucci. Good switch out to Campbell, the overlapping fullback. No one interested in going to him. He finds Gonzalez again, and the header's just over the crossbar there. We're going to make a tactical tweak because they are starting to get a run of highlights. We're going to drop back to positive, and looking at our average ratings here, Fekir and Yilmaz not playing particularly well. Castro not playing particularly well either. I know Henry not having the greatest game, but I'm going to hold on to that last sub for the last 10 minutes or so. I'm going to tell them to get out there and make a difference, and we're also going to mix it up a bit. We usually go get creative after the hour. We're going to demand more, try and give everyone some focus to try and get hold of the ball and stem this little tide of highlights that we've seen for Chelsea. I'm actually not sure what happens at the semi-final leg. I think if it goes to a draw, we go to additional time and not a replay. Overlap here from Campbell. We've got to get out to him, and Batch has pulled the goal back. They've come back from 2-0 down. They say it's the most difficult scoreline to try and defend, and that's definitely been the case in the last 10 minutes or so. It's a good ball here from Campbell. Russo plays it to him, and then Harold just doesn't go with the overlapping fullback. Nobody does, in truth. He has all the time in the world to pick out across. It's a good whip pass to backstick, and Batch comes off the bench, gets the equalising goal, and then rather than trying to pick up the ball and maybe find a winner, he goes, we're going to go back to attacking, which that's dangerous because potentially I'm overthinking it and overplaying our hand in terms of changing our mentality, but we're also going to bring on David Lynn to replace Arno Henry in midfield. We'll tell him we've got faith in him, and then we're also going to use a get creative shout. We're mixing it up a little bit, 10 minutes remaining, trying to inspire everyone to find a winning goal, and from a 2-0 position, we should really be holding on. Free kick here, Haji to take from about 30 yards. Not a bad effort, but straight down the middle, and Kalkani equal to it. Got to be wary here in transition. Need to get back quickly and not get caught. He's going to look to go a bit longer. He goes to Cordy in midfield, who I think is also a sub that's come off the bench. Drives the ball forward, and his strike, I tell you what, Mancini probably didn't see it till late, but it clipped the base of the post on its way out. 4 additional minutes to be added on at the end of full time. We're through that now, so we're going to assertively say, don't let this slip away now. We've been the better team, and we haven't seen much out of our 2 strikers either. Let's tell them that you weren't that bad but can improve, and they've both responded positively, which is good. But we've made all 3 of our subs. We've got 2 players on yellow cards. We really just need to try and find something on the break. You can see, statistically speaking, Chelsea have had most of it in the second half. Heinen, deep free kick here towards Gonzalez, back stick, and again, a header just over the crossbar. Gonzalez really giving us a bit of a measure here in terms of aerial ability. We've got a corner of our own, Haji to take. Batch with the header away, but only cleared as far as Lind. Back to Abdesamad. Switch out towards Mateo. Fresh sub on the right-hand side. Cut back towards Rivera. Can he get it back on his left foot? Dung recovers possession. Clearance is poor. Finds Harold at the edge of the area. Cut back to Schaefer. Maybe could have turned and gone for the strike. Instead, he resets through Yilmaz into Haji now. Ball over the top for Mateo. Flicked onto Rivera, and we've got to finish those chances if we want to get through. That is as close to a point-blank save as you are potentially ever going to see. Haji, deep corner towards Abdesamad, back stick. It's cleared away by Chelsea, and forward comes Russo. Looks to send Heinen into the channel. Just stand him up. Don't do anything silly. He's going to want to get back on his left foot. Clearance by Esteban, and the highlight comes to an end. We're going to start the second half of injury time now. What have we got now with about 10 minutes remaining? We're going to use one more demand more shout. If we can't find a winner, we're at least going to try and maintain focus and not concede. Corner taken by Haji towards Esteban. Flick on header. Oh, just beyond the far post. Just flashes beyond the far post. That might have been the final chance for us to try and find a win. And we go to penalties, and look at our penalty takers. They're not great. 12, 11, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. At least there's a stability there. Everyone across 8. We're just going to go auto pick. And it's pretty much suggested we go in the order of suitability. We will see. Penalties are a lottery. I would assume that Chelsea have the penalty takers. Heinen steps up first for them, and he sends it wide to the left-hand side. That might be the window that we need. Rivera's already scored 1 penalty in this fixture. Can he make it a second in the shootout? Again, goes low and hard to left-hand side. Keeper that time went the right way, but it had enough pace on it to try and keep it clear. Rob Batch, the England winger, steps up, left-footed again, straight at Mancini, but thankfully, or not thankfully, unluckily, he just misses the ball. Didn't have that much pace on it, wasn't miles away from getting a glove. Schaefer now, left-footed again, goes to the other side. Again, the keeper goes the right way, but thankfully, enough pace on it to get it beyond his outstretched hand. Gonzalez, who got the first goal, steps up to play against Mancini, goes down and hard to the left-hand side, right-footed that time to the left-hand side of the keeper. Hisham Haji with the opportunity for us. Kalkani steps back into goal. Right-footed pen straight down the middle. Kalkani's got that equalising save for Chelsea and restores parity against both sides. Cordy, left-footed penalty again. A lot of left-footed takers here for Chelsea, and straight down the middle at Mancini, who comes up with a big block to give us the advantage again. A big test here for Esteban, the central defender from Spain. Right-footed penalty straight down the middle. Again, it's an identical penalty to the one Mancini just saved. As soon as we get an advantage, we give it straight back. Fryer, English centre-back, taking the penalty here for Chelsea, and he's missed to the left-hand side. The only thing that's keeping us in this at the moment is Chelsea's inability to find the back of the net. And it's going to be Abdessamar, the young Belgian centre-back, with the opportunity to make himself a hero in the shootout. Maybe I should have paid more attention to the top five, because this is now a very tense penalty to be trying to take. Kalkani has saved the last one. We've missed the last two. If we get this one, we are through to the next round, and thank God we're through to the final. That would have been absolutely devastating from being 2-0 up to throw that lead away. In the end, 27 shots, 11 on target, 54% possession for Chelsea. 20 shots, 12 on target, 46% of the ball for the Isle of Man. Rivera and Schaefer with the goals for us. Gonzalez and Batch scoring the 59th and 79th minutes respectively. And it took penalties, a 3-2 victory on penalties to get us through. Passionately, we're going to say, you dreamt of playing in the final, and now it's happened. We'll have to check out what the final result was in the other game. City were winning. We'll see if they held on against Tottenham or if they added to their lead. So Carlos Andre got the Man of the Match award. We book our place at Wembley, where we're going to play against. We'll check that in a moment. Lucas Gabriel, twisted ankle, out 3 to 6 weeks. That is not ideal. Hopefully he's back in time for the FA Cup final. Carlos Andre played well. We'll give him a bit of praise for his defensive work rate. And then Hans Wolf from Real Madrid was there having a look at Carlos Andre and Bruno Castro. So we're starting to get those players, or those teams, circling for our best young players, which is to be expected. Tottenham actually went through against Man City. They overturned that first half deficit. An 85th minute equaliser, went down to 10 men in the 118th, and very similarly to our match, had to go through on penalties. But we will play Tottenham in the FA Cup final, which I guess means tomorrow we are going to get a chance at some sort of silverware, which is fantastic to see. Looking at our squad, Gabriel's injury is the only real concern that we have to worry about. Yilmaz will come back in. We're going to open up this bench a little bit as well. And let's also use a rest day. It's a big fixture coming up. We want to try and get as full strength of the lineup as we can out there. Lucas Gabriel out injured. Santana out suspended again. But magic of editing. We're going to jump forward to the game against Southampton now. All right, and just like that, we're a couple of days further ahead. Now, there is something that I quickly wanted to show you, which is this. The title race heading to the wire. So the top three sides are the only ones that can technically, mathematically, still win the title. We are currently, as things stand, with an additional game in hand, 4 points clear of Manchester City in second spot, 7 points clear of Manchester United in third. I think if we win this game in hand, we will potentially rule Manchester United out of being able to catch us. Of our run home, the biggest teams that we play are 4th place Arsenal, 7th place Everton, and 9th place Southampton today. Otherwise, Watford are down in 14th, Bournemouth in 12th, Aston Villa in 20th. I guarantee we'll probably win all the games and lose to Aston Villa on the last day, because that's just how the game works. City have a much tougher run home. They played Liverpool in 11th spot, Brighton in 10th, Moneybags Brighton as we know, Chelsea in 8th, Tottenham in 6th, and Newcastle in 5th position. So they have a much more difficult run home, which favours us quite a bit, as do Manchester United. They got Fulham in 18th, which they should be winning, Bournemouth in 12th, Southampton in 9th, who we also play today, Newcastle in 5th, and finish the season with Arsenal in 4th position. While both sides could potentially win all their remaining fixtures, it would not surprise me in the slightest. We do, I think, have the best run home of each of these sides, and hopefully we can help, by getting a good result here against Southampton and increasing our current points lead. Looking at the squad, not too much to write home about, just the one starting lineup change with Furkan Yilmaz coming in at right wing back for the injured Lucas Gabriel. Santana still out suspended, otherwise he would start in place of Haji. You know what? Haji didn't play particularly well. I'm going to give David Lind a bit of a run, and let's just see how he goes, bringing the Englishman back in. Looking at Southampton's side, they are playing a 4-3-3, a very straightforward one. There is one familiar face down here. We'll talk about Luciano Fontana in a moment, but they've got some very good players. Rolf Roos was a player that we looked at back when he was a wonder kid at PSV. Didn't quite hit the potential that I think was expected of him. We just couldn't afford him in the end. I can't remember how much they actually paid for him. £31 million 6 seasons ago, which would have been our first or second season in the Premier Division. We just didn't have the cash to be bringing in a player like that, and he's on quite a bit in terms of wage as well. 140k is above what we're still able to pay now, even 6 years down the track. So He's a good player, make no mistake. The star ability probably doesn't reflect how good he is. They've also got Neil Pienaar, who's a full England international left back. Was one kid that came through their youth academy. He spent his whole career at Southampton. A very, very good wing-back player on that left-hand side. An elite full-back is impressive. Technique-wise, not the best. I think there are better players available in England. There's a couple like Brady at Manchester City, Antonio Jesus at Man United. I think Carlos Andre is an improvement on him as well, to be fair, but he is a very, very good player that we'll have to keep an eye on as well. Over on the other side, they're strong at the back. Luciano Fontana, who of course previously played for us. We signed him from Estudiantes over in Argentina. He was excellent for us. 106 appearances and 3 goals in that time. He made the big jump to Southampton for about £40 million, if I remember correctly, 2 seasons ago. He actually had a really good World Cup as well. He was in the World Cup Dream 11, or World Cup Dream Team, I should say, as the right back after winning the World Cup with Argentina. So, while I don't think he's improved all that much since he left us, and I think Lucas Gabriel is the better player, he's definitely still playing at a very, very good level. So we'll have to keep an eye on him as well. There's that commentary thing about biting the hand that used to feed. I wouldn't be surprised if Fontana bobs up at a corner or set piece routine with a header home. Diego Norberto will lead the line for them. 3-star current potential ability striker from Brazil. We should be dealing with him. I think he's even a midfielder by trade, but they're playing him up front. Assertively, we are going to say, great opportunity to show the media have been right to back you up. And 3 points in this one will be incredibly important to try and restore an advantage in the division. This might not actually even be a catch-up game. I think I just saw that Man City are playing. Castro backstick ball, and it's pinballed around there. Decimar with a great header back across. Hard to tell if it's a ball back across or a shot. But Rivera was on hand to nod that one home for his second goal in as many games and his 21st of the year. Great ball in from Castro, good header from Decimar, and all Rivera has to try and do there is head that one back on target. Didn't have much of an angle to work with, so he did very well. So both City and United are playing today, so we're not going to find out if we get that catch-up game. And both of them have also taken 1-0 leads in the first half of their matches. We're going to use a demand more shout here with about 10 minutes remaining in the half. I don't think we need to change anything. But we will keep an eye. Oh, there's a highlight here. Just as I say, I don't think we need to change anything. Host with the ball. Back to Yeager. Out to Pienaar. And fullback's not particularly looking to overlap for the Southampton side. I think they're a bit more conservative in possession than perhaps we are. Host, Carriaga, lays it off to Norberto, who gets a strike away. Mancini had to push it over the crossbar. Interesting one. Didn't have too much pace on it. Maybe thought the keeper could have done a little bit better. It's going to be Carriaga to take the corner. Backstick ball. Decimar with a good header away. Rafael can reset for Southampton. The highlight comes to an end. Deep free kick here. Castro looks towards backstick. There wasn't really anyone there making the run. Esteban recovers, puts a ball in towards Rivera. Angelini clears for Southampton, but Arnaud Henry can put the ball back in. Angelini stays with him and wins the ball back on the left-hand side. Stays with him though. Furkan Yilmaz recovers possession. Lind, Yilmaz, Henry work a nice little triangle in midfield. Esteban looks for Furkan Yilmaz on the overlap on the right-hand side, and he plays it across to Castro. Henry now with the switch. Linda's there. Recovers possession. Played out now left to Carlos Andre on the overlap. Ball towards Castro. Pinballs around and he gets a second chance at it. I think initially it was a header that came in. Closed down by the Southampton defence. And he just had a little half snapshot on his left. And it slammed into the top corner. We'll check it out here in 3 dimensions. Good press work there. Good work here from Carlos Andre. Not bombing forward too far. Able to pick up the ball in a good area. Castro's initial header. And then just that snapshot on his favoured left foot. Keeper can do nothing about it. Maybe a little bit unsighted by his own defence as well. And it restores a 2-goal advantage, which is very good to settle the nerves of the side as we head into the halftime break. 9 shots, 6 on target, 41% possession for the Isle of Man. 8 shots, 2 on target, 59% of the ball for Southampton. For all the possession they've had, only 1 highlight thus far. We're just going to calmly say, everyone, I'm pleased with how things are going. Let's keep it up. And we just want to keep our morale up as much as humanly possible at this point in the game. As things stand, we would stay 4 points clear of City. Castro with the ball, across to Lind at the edge of the area. A decent strike, keeper was scrambling, but beyond the far post. Corner to be taken here by Harold, 58 minutes played. Cut back there from Castro, finds Harold again. He gets 2 chances at it, and I think Esteban's eventually poked that one home. And this will save there from the keeper for Southampton, but it only falls to Esteban, who gets there first and puts it home into a good area. Good combination here. Castro gets to the byline, cuts it back for Harold. Beats one man, gets the strike away. Good save from the keeper, but Esteban, it falls right to his feet, and he just has to really get that one on target to drive the ball home for a 3-goal advantage on the hour mark. We're not going to hit pause. We're just going to quickly make our subs, though. Schaefer's not had the greatest game. We'll bring on Martinez. Lind hasn't played particularly well either. We'll give Haji a chance to try and stake his claim for another start down the track. And we're also going to use a get creative shout with a few minutes remaining in the half. If we can boost our goal difference, we should, of course, try to. Looks like City are now 4-0 up against Liverpool, so we want to try and keep up with goal difference as much as possible for them. United similarly 2-0 up against Fulham, who've now gone down to 10 men at the same time. Ball in here from a deep free kick from Castro. Comes back out. Southampton playing through very deep here. Not really looking forward all that much. Long ball forward now towards Angelini though. Finds him on the left-hand side. Just stand him up. Good clearance there from Furkan Yilmaz. And Pablo Rivera might have a chance to get to this one deep on the right-hand side. Cut back towards Castro. Ball towards Martinez back post. And that far post header. Castro has been fantastic in this game. Not just in his delivery from set pieces, but also in general play. Getting the goal and setting up one now as well. Lovely backstick header from Ruben Martinez for his 21st goal of the season. And it's lovely having someone that you can rotate into a squad here and there that can really effectively get quite a few goals. It's always good when a ball clips the underside of the crossbar on its way over the line as well. Just adds that little bit of a flourish to it. We're going to make our last sub now. We might just go by condition itself. Harold is down on 70%, so we might bring on Izusko Mateo just to see out the match on that left wing. And we'll also use a demand more shout with about 10 minutes remaining. Throwing now right-hand side, Yilmaz finds Castro. Back to Yilmaz again. Clearance there from Valenti for Southampton. Can we try and hold on to the clean sheet, please, boys? That would go a long way to help our goal difference. Fontana, right-hand side. Switch is poor. Rivera's going to win it back in a good spot for us. And looks to tear away down the right-hand side. He'll want to get it back on his left foot. He's tackled by Yeager. But then the possession is kept in play. Yeager recovers for Southampton. Clearance into the midfield is poor. Haji finds Rivera. Looks to get it back on his left foot. Square ball there from Castro. It's a second assist to the same man, Martinez. And I tell you what, most players you would think in Castro's position there would have probably rifled a shot into the side netting. But he had that presence of mind, that calmness to just pick out the man square to him across the 6-yard box. And it's a good finish from Martinez. In off the post again. He's hit the crossbar. He's hit the upright. Maybe in injury time, if you could hit the other upright just to add to his hat-trick, that would be fantastic. But as the referee calls full time, 5-0 winners in the end. 20 shots, 10 on target, 46% possession. 10 shots, 3 on target, 54% of the ball. And we're going to passionately tell everyone, very pleased with the result in your performance. If we continue performing like that, we are definitely going to walk home the title in the last few games of the season. So City won their game against Liverpool despite finishing with 10 men, 4-0. United win 3-0 in the end to pretty much maintain the same difference in points. We are 4 points clear, but with the game in hand on Manchester City, which hopefully we will play and win in the next few days. Castro gets a Man of the Match award for his fantastic goal and 2 brilliant assists. So let's give him a bit of praise and passionately say superb in the number and quality of chances created in that match, and thankfully he didn't crack the shits. He responds positively. Now, no real rest for the wicked here. We've immediately got Southampton at home in a couple of days. We've got Watford as well. I think we're going to play those games off screen, to be honest with you. And I think what we might do is we might come home. Well, sorry, it's an away game actually, not at home. But we might come back and do the game against Bournemouth away from home at the Callum Wilson Stadium, which is just ridiculous every time I see it. Aston Villa at home to close out the season, and then our FA Cup final, and make tomorrow's episode a little bit of a bumper episode, hopefully securing a Premier Division title and potentially an FA Cup trophy to go with it as well. You guys have to tune in to see how we get on. As always, guys, the series continues. The series goes on. We did have a bit of a downside yesterday, losing in the quarterfinal stage of the Champions League. But like all good managers, we pick ourselves back up. We go again, and we got 2 great results today to continue our hunt for as many trophies as humanly possible and potentially get ourselves a treble this year if we count the Community Shield for that. I don't think most teams do, but we will if we do. Still plenty of football to be played, still plenty to go in the series before the release of Football Manager 2021. If you want to be kept up to date on all our future videos, you can subscribe to the channel. If you want to help celebrate us making the FA Cup final, you can drop a like on this video as well. But more than anything, I just appreciate you guys watching. That's the part that means the most to me. As always, I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.